we always give the YouTube folks a
A little extra.
little extra solo. The YouTube folks always get us midpoint because I'm too lazy to edit the beginning of this thing. So, all right, that's cool. We are live, and then I can just get the link and post it over there for our friends in the
For Bill
Facebook.
Cava at Lumen,
For
having a
for,
bagel.
for Bill Cobb at Lumen in New Jersey having a bagel. And there we go. Here we go. Very easy. Look, I'm getting better at this, man.
Hey,
Post, and we're done, and we're ready to start the podcast. We're live on the YouTube. Here we go.
hello, YouTube family.
All right. Hello, YouTube family, and hello, people listening to the podcast. We're live here on the YouTube once again. This is Daily DVR. Check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Become a patron like so many of our amazing new patrons. We love each and every one of you. Go to patreon.com/DVR. We're getting a lot of new people coming in from Severance and White Lotus. We really appreciate it. We're just going to keep doing podcasts. That's what we do, people. And I'm Axel, of course. Here with me is Heath. Heath, how are you doing?
Good. I am ready to talk a bunch of stuff. This is one thing for any new viewers on the YouTube. Me and Axel, throughout our lives, podcasting together, sometimes just get together and just BS and talk movies, films, sports, life, pop culture. So this is
Yeah.
kind of that intro for you. We've done tons of these through the years, but these are kind of like some of our funnest pods, would you say, Axel? Because
Yeah.
we just kind of have bullet points, but we don't have any script. You'll never hear me say, well, Axel, in the notes, like our friend Ando does. But
Well,
we
yeah,
just
that's
kind of go
true.
organic. And also, for those of you new, you see this blurry poster in the back. It's the Star City Murders, my film. You can find it on Tubi for free or Amazon Prime if you have a subscription, and across the globe on Amazon. So
Yeah,
check it out, like it, even if you don't like it. It's a nice serial killer thriller.
it
So
is. It
enjoy.
is. Oh, it's very enjoyable. I'm telling you, folks, just put it on. You won't turn it off. And one of the main, oh, I like that cup there, that
I
mug.
Oregon. I bought this when I went to
Nice.
visit you on the way back at the airport in Portland.
Nice.
I bought it,
I
and it's my
love that.
favorite cup now.
Well, oh man, what a nice day it is. It just started raining here in Portland. I love it. We did, let me just check the notes real quick.
What? Wait, what?
We do have some things we're going to talk about today, though. We
Yeah,
do
we
have
do.
a little bit of a plan, and we want to start off talking about, make a little announcement here that Heath and I, beginning the week of May 15th, we will be covering, and Ando is probably going to join us too. He's got some work stuff he's figuring out, and we'll have other guests, I'm sure, to come on. Oh, just like by the way, I think Gina is going to join us for the Severance finale
Oh,
on
nice.
Monday solo. So we got to get the time over to her. But we're
Okay.
going to be covering Duster on HBO Max. I'm going to still call it HBO. Of course, Duster is a new show starring one of our favorite actors, Josh Holloway from Lost, good old Sawyer. It's an upcoming American crime thriller series co-created by J.J. Abraham's son and Latoya Morgan's son. The series stars, it's
Latoya
actually,
Jackson?
well, I said Morganson, but it's Morgan.
Oh, more. Yeah, no,
This,
I
you
thought
figured that?
Jackson,
The
and I
series
figured that.
stars Rachel Hilson, Josh Holloway, and Keith David. It's released on May 15th. The premise is set in the Southwest in 1972. It follows the FBI's first black woman agent working to stop a crime syndicate with the assistance of a talented getaway driver, Mr. Josh Holloway. It's got a great cast, of course, including Greg Gunberg, who has to show up in everything. That Corbin Burnson is in it.
Corbin
Donald,
Burnson, Roger Dorn.
yeah,
I
Donald
can't.
Logue, who I love.
Oh, I love Donald Logue.
And there are 8 episodes. It's going to run from May 15th until July 3rd. So just before July 4th. Now this has
Good,
been in the
good, good
works.
observation.
Thank you.
I
This has been
like
in the
that.
works for 5 years, Solo.
Jeez, well, don't I know that? Yeah, because I heard about it a while ago and I was
Yeah.
pumped.
Yep.
And I was young then.
I
Now I'm just old.
was. I know. Now we're less pumped. We have to
Yeah.
pump
Well, we gotta
ourselves
pump
up.
ourselves. Oh God, we both do. Yeah. Old men on
But
YouTube.
yeah, I am very excited by this. We both watched the trailer. The trailer is available. You can check our YouTube page, Daily DVR, TV and Film page. Um, and the trailer kind of blew me away. Like I was a little iffy with some of the picks, and I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Then I saw the trailer, and I was literally 30 seconds into it, and I texted you, Solo, we're covering Duster.
Yes.
Like it looks awesome.
Yeah, I'd seen the pictures on our daily DVR TV movie page, whatever it's called, because I can never get it right. And I was looking at Josh Holloway because he's shaven, and I thought he was
Oh yeah.
CGI'd.
Oh.
He looked like Thundar the Barbarian. I mean,
The hair's very straight. I love. Is
yeah,
that a wig or is it real? What do you think?
I
Maybe a
think
little
it
of
could be
both?
real. I think it could be real with a little, maybe some extensions.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is weird, but I'm like, Josh Holloway looks like 20 years younger. You know.
Yeah.
Um, but then I saw the trailer for the first time like an hour ago. Um, and I was blown away because it has that 70s feel. It's
Yeah.
got it's a mixture of, remember Quarry, that show we
Yes.
liked?
I loved Quarry.
Yeah, it has that 70s feel. It's got some Tarantino-esque stuff,
Yep.
maybe a little
Yep.
Guy Ritchie, and then
Yep.
some, it has everything that I love
Well, let
in
me ask you a
one.
question.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the end of the trailer because I always stop because that's when they start doing flashes and give away the whole season. So I just didn't look. But did they show anything that looks sci-fi, mystery, weird?
I didn't catch that,
Okay.
but I wasn't looking for it.
Okay.
But they do have a Butch Cassidy, Han Solo-esque shot of Josh Holloway with a gun with
Okay.
the FBI agent. That's
Oh,
awesome.
God, he would have been. I really think they fucked up, man. Not for some if they had somehow been able Oscar Isaacson just was not a good Han Solo substitute for like the new series. He would have been so
Yeah.
great in Star Wars to kind of
He
be a Han Solo type.
he would have been perfect.
Oh
He
man.
actually, if you look at early Don Johnson stuff, Josh Holloway
I
to a
like that.
T.
Yeah.
Like Harley
That's
Davidson in the
great.
Marlboro Man, Miami
Yes.
Vice,
Oh,
like Dead Bang. Like Josh Holloway to me is
Ted
like
Bang.
the new Don Johnson, and he
Yeah.
just hasn't been utilized in that way. Now it could be his choices, his agency,
Yeah.
whatever. But like I'm like, if they rebooted Miami Vice, like he would be perfect as Sonny Crockett.
He is really so good. Well, he he did the oh, what the heck was it called again? Not Invasion, the
Colony?
Colony, right?
Yeah, the Carlton Cuse.
Which I liked and I watched the whole thing. It was a little bit of waiting for something to happen on that
Yeah.
show, but he was great in it. But it didn't allow him to be as funny, which this is allowing him to be funny and
Hmm.
charming, and that's what he's really good at. I
Yeah.
think he looks great. I think Rachel Hilson looks great. I think Keith David is amazing, and anything he's in, I'll watch it.
He's Keith
I'm
David.
excited.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
pumped. And
excited.
this kind of caught me by surprise because of hearing about it for 5 years. Um, and I didn't realize it. Oh yeah, it's coming out. No, they're shooting. It's shooting stopped. And then like it kind of just hit me over the side of the head the last couple
I
of days. I'm
know.
like, oh,
That's why
we're
you have the
getting it.
headband on because you have a
That's
head
why. Yeah,
injury.
I have to.
You need it. The reason I asked if there was any sci-fi or weird stuff is because I read an interview with J.J. Abrams' son. And the reason we call him that, guys, is because our friend Elton McManus, who also has a great Grand Prix podcast, which covers F1, which I listen to, and he does another Black Dog podcast, which I listen to. But back in the day, for some reason, he called J.J. Abrams, J.J. Abrams' son or something,
No, no,
right? What's that?
J.J. Abrahams.
Oh, J.J. Abrams.
And since then, we've been calling him
Okay,
J.J.
maybe I added the
Abrahams.
son part of it
I
just
don't
to
know.
extend it.
You've been watching a lot of Shogun, I think, and adding some sun
In the Japans.
in the Japans.
So anyway, that's where that comes from. But I read an interview with him where he said people are going
With
to be
J.J.
surprised.
Abrahams' son?
Yes, which
His son?
yes, his son
Okay.
and him. It was actually a joint. No, his son was interviewing him.
Oh,
It was
hence.
really crazy. It was a flip in the script. But he said this is going to allow me to do some of the fun things like I did with Alias and others. This show is more than what it looks like. So I think there is some sort of conspiracy, alien tech, sci-fi. There's
Oh,
some
could
sort
be.
of
Yeah.
other thing happening in this show. And of course, with J.J. Abraham's son, I immediately think maybe it's not even set in the 70s. Maybe what they're showing us is like the first couple episodes, and then all of a sudden they wake up from the VR or they're on a
Oh no,
spaceship or
don't tell. No, no. I don't want that.
oh no, you don't want
I
that?
want just regular 70s
Okay, okay,
Duster.
okay.
But if it happens, AJ Abrahams, oh J J Abrams, I trust him.
Yes, so
So
do
I
I.
know he'll
So
make
do
it
I.
great. So if that's the case, you got you got cool shots, Josh Holloway. That's all I need, and I'm in.
I know, I
Um,
know. Yeah. The
so
music was good.
yeah, no,
Uh, I
this is
like it.
like I'm not going to say the sleeper of the year, but we have a lot of, Severance, The Last of Us coming out, Handmaid's Tale, a lot of big tentpole TV shows. And Duster, like, wasn't on my radar as it's coming out soon. So I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my God, what a treat this
I had
is.
no idea.
Because in May we got Duster, and then I have a big birthday coming up there. And we got the Mission Impossible
Oh,
part two, Dead
nice.
Reckoning with Milchek from Severance
Hey,
is in
remember
it.
when Josh Holloway was in Mission Impossible and we're all
Ghost
happy and then he
Protocol.
dies in the first like 5 minutes?
And
I was like, what the
he's got like two
fuck?
flashbacks. I'm like, no,
I thought
I thought he was gonna be the Renner type
that's
character.
what I thought that
And
he
I
was
was
there.
like,
He was going to
finally.
take, and they had written articles that maybe he was taking over the thing, which was probably
Yeah.
his press people, but can't blame him. But you know what? He's got this show. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's his starring vehicle, and we're going to be covering it. So we look forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
I also actually, because I'm a dork, I created like a Facebook group for Duster, really just a
For James, for
backdoor.
Grandpa
Yeah,
James,
it's
really.
it's a you can post pictures, and it's a backdoor plug for the podcast. Of course, that's all it is.
Oh,
That's
we
what.
like the back door.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just trying to get people to listen, just like Eddie Vedder. Speaking of Eddie Vedder, let's go. Let's
Yes.
go to a different topic right from the beginning.
All
We
right.
were chatting on the phone because you said to me when we were talking about doing the podcast, you were like, let's see what the day brings. And I said, Solo, wasn't there a band? I remember I listened to their album called Brad that was an offshoot of Pearl Jam. And Solo was like, I love Brad. I have a whole story about Brad. And they have that amazing song. What's the name of the song? What I think it's What the
Well,
Day
that's
Brings, right?
the day brings, but they got even better songs.
Okay. All right.
So in the 90s, of course, Pearl Jam was my band, and
Yeah.
I was in the record store at the mall, and they used to have like coming soon. It was written up on like a board, and it said Stone from Pearl Jam. So I was like, oh, Pearl Jam's new album Stone is coming out, and not putting two together that they didn't put Stone Gossard from Pearl, they just put Stone, and then for a second there, then I'm like, oh no, Stone Gossard. So he has like a lot of Matt Cameron does it, Jeff Ament has done it, Eddie Vedder, of course, with the Earthlings and Solo. A lot of the Pearl Jam members um, do. their own side projects.
Yeah.
So Brad was Stone's one of his first side projects. I think his first side project since Pearl Jam, before Mother Love, after Mother Love Bone, Wind River, all that, or Green River. Um, Wind River, I had to do a little Taylor Sheridan shout out. Um, so the first one album, I believe it's called 20, I think it's called 20th Century. That they have a great song named Nadine on there. 20th Century, Buttercup. There's a lot of like cool vibey. It was different than Pearl Jam, but the lead singer's voice is freaking phenomenal. Um, and I have to maybe do a little research and get the band name. But so I've been a Brad fan, and I didn't realize they released a few more albums along the way. But recently, I was about a year and a half ago, maybe, or last summer, I was listening to Pearl Jam Radio on Sirius XM. The only reason I keep Sirius XM is because of Pearl Jam Radio. And I do like the sports. But Stone Gossard and the lead singer were on doing a special previewing the new album. It was like going to be it was 30 years they've been together, their final album. And so they were sampling it, playing older tunes as well. And I fell in love with the new album. There's this song Through the Hoop that's amazing. There's a lot of great songs on the new album. So I started kind of going back and listening to Brad recently. It's funny that you brought it up. But when I used to do back in the day, I used to do was it called Drunk DJ podcasts,
Yeah.
Sambuca podcasts, and I remember playing the day where the day brings or the day brings the song, and I go, you know what? This is going to be Axel Foley's favorite new song. I know it.
Love
And then
it.
the fact that you brought it up like 7 years later since I did that pod, I found it ironic, but yeah, no, Brad's a great band, one of the most underrated bands, I think. And Stone Goss is just a genius. We all know that, but um, yeah, based out of Seattle, of course, alternative indie. Um, so,
Nice.
so I'm looking at, yeah, Brad was an American rock band that was formed in Seattle, Washington in 1992. The sound was influenced by a wide variety of influences brought by its members, including Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam, Reagan Hagar, Sean Smith, and Jeremy Toback. Um, the they've had some members that have come and gone, but really really underrated band. And if you haven't listened to them, check them out. They're really good, really good.
Yeah. I really like, and the singer has such a soulful
Yeah, Sean Smith.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's unique, very unique.
I like him, man. I like him. Hey, I want to give a shout out. I was listening to you solo, but see, this is part of the thing I'm learning with YouTube is that um in order to look at the thing, I can't like listen to. That's why one of the things it's I have to learn how to do it in a way that I get these kind of things done or something like that because like I want to be more listening to your story, but then I also noticed that Joe Bear is listening to us live.
Joe Bear, we got to get you on a film list, buddy. Podcast.
So I have to say hello, right?
Yeah, I got to say hi to Joe Bear.
Yeah. So I got to post it. And I also noticed that I posted it to my personal page instead of the other one. But I just have to check it every once in a while. It looks like we're good. We're doing good. We're going. Okay. We got a couple people watching. We're still live on the old YouTubers.
Yeah,
And I
it is
dig
the
it.
Day Brings off the Interiors album from
Yeah.
1997.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. They're really, you know what that thing is about anything having to do with Pearl Jam is in essence, when you think back solo, as I do now, I think a lot about the 90s because you look at America, you think about Generation X, and
Mhm.
generally speaking, our generation did not vote the same way you and I voted. Our generation overwhelmingly voted for Trump. That's kind of
Oh,
who voted him in is Gen
really?
X. Yeah, actually, boomers and such in less.
Boomer Esiason?
Yeah, boomers. Well, I
Oh,
don't know about him.
he's
We'd have to check. But they voted more for him the first time. But then after he came into office, they dropped. But what has come up is Gen X and people like Joe Rogan listener, like that whole Elon Musk kind of
Okay.
crowd. And so I've been thinking about like the 90s and what these bands had to say to us, you know? And so much of what they had to say to us was about equality and freedom and accepting people and being positive and love. And it's unfortunate. My favorite was always Nirvana. I loved Pearl Jam. I never got involved in that Nirvana versus Pearl Jam bullshit. I just love them both.
Yeah, I love them
I
both
didn't,
too.
you don't need to hate somebody, but
Well, it's the old Monkeys, Beatles, Stones. There's got to be,
yes,
everyone needs
I know,
controversy,
but it's not.
Axel.
But you
Everyone
see,
has to have an
I can,
opinion.
I can kind of understand. See, this is the thing is, I can kind of understand the Beatles versus the Stones because they both started off as bar bands, and then the Beatles became something entirely different, right? Whereas Nirvana, Pearl Jam, they were up until Kurt Cobain's death, they both remained kind of the same. And even Pearl Jam today, they've grown, but they're still that kind of band. You know, it's not like they did a concept album about their shoes or something, or became a
Well,
prog
no.
rock band. You know?
Yeah, no. No, that's the thing with Pearl Jam. Um, I run into so many people. I mean, I'm a diehard fan, as you know. If some of you may not know, when I was about to get married in it was 20 going to be 2018 2016 and in the Czech Republic, and my father-in-law 2 months before the wedding passed away. So to make a long story short, we're going to go to the Czech for our wedding, Italy for a honeymoon, then Pennsylvania for like a stateside celebration, and then hit the Pearl Jam concert at Wrigley to cap off like this amazing three and a
Yeah,
half
yeah.
weeks. We had to go for a funeral and whatnot, but we still went to the Pearl Jam concert. And my buddy Glenn somehow got in touch with Pearl Jam's publicist, whatever.
I know.
Make a
It's
long
the
story short, there's
best.
an amazing thing on YouTube. Eddie Vedder and the boys dedicate Man of the Hour to me and my wife about losing our dad, and that you're gonna get married and we hope you follow through, and very inspirational. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's from August 22nd, 2016.
So look, we're on YouTube too.
Oh my God. So you can
You
just
should share that YouTube clip on our Facebook page.
Oh yeah, I should. But it's amazing. It's a
It
good
is.
like
It's
30-second
beautiful.
dedication.
Glenn is
Anyway,
the man. You can only imagine that Glenn spent like 80 hours on the phone just calling people, getting it
I
done.
think he just sent an email and it worked. Um, but no, but like so like stuff
I'm
like
trying to
that.
give the guy credit.
I know, and I'm taking it away from him.
He was on his couch and he sent an email.
Make a long story short, I've been following the band, and then Cameron Crowe made a great Pearl Jam 20
Oh, I
doc
love it. I love it. You
that
should update that.
re-inspired me to. But anyway, when people say, "Oh, the Pearl Jam hasn't had a good album since Versus," I'm like, you
It's
don't know music.
ridiculous. Yeah.
They, their new album, Dark Matter, might be a top five album of all time, and they've made some great albums.
Yeah.
It just through the years, it just they they kind of like, I mean, not so much like U2 changed their sound after Octung Baby with Zooropa and kind of experimented.
Well, the thing about it, I was gonna say, bro, is the thing about Pearl Jam for me is that it's also their ethos, what they stand for.
Right.
What they've always remained the same from day one, right? They always want to
Right.
have their music be accessible. They wanted to fight high ticket prices and high album prices. They want to be able to say whatever the fuck they want. You know what I'm saying? They're just about freedom of expression and art and positivity. That's what I was going to say, is because I love Nirvana, but Nirvana is very negative. I mean, Kurt
Well,
Cobain
yeah.
killed himself, and the music
There was a
itself.
song called "Rape Me." I
Yeah,
mean,
the
I
music is
mean,
about pain. I mean,
a
there's a
lot of
reason
pain.
why the band is called Nirvana. He was a Buddhist, and it was about an exploration of pain and attachment. And that's what it was supposed to be about. That's like the band. So, I mean, this was a guy who like created weird art projects with baby doll heads in his spare time. Eddie Vedder surfing and playing basketball. He's probably more like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Kurt Cobain, but probably after a couple of months, I would have been like, bro, can we just hang out and chat? Like, does it have to be so
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, yeah.
Can we let's
No,
play some ball? Let's have fun. That's
and
why I love everything having to do with Pearl Jam. It's about positivity and love.
it really is. And if you, I mean, I listen to a lot of the concerts because one great thing they do, with the old bootlegs and stuff. I remember
Yeah.
being at
Yep.
Syracuse and getting tapes of concerts, but they decided, Pro Jam's like, you know what? The bootlegs are going to be out there. Why don't we record them from
I
our
know. It's
soundboard
incredible.
and we could sell them cheap and you can get like any concert and it's amazing. So I listen to a lot, and Eddie does talk a lot, but he's always up to date with certain views. And he just really, what city he's in, he does the work. He comments about
Yeah.
what's going
Yep.
on it's amazing. And
I
it's
know.
just like, I mean, there's very few people that influence me. Um, where if they have a view, I kind of, and Eddie is one of those guys.
Yep.
I
Totally, man.
really on the same level, and he's inspired me. The whole band has inspired me. And the fact that they've stuck together now,
That's
almost
the
40.
team thing. Dude, that's like too, when you think of Pearl Jam, what I always think of when you say Pearl Jam to me is the hands together
Yeah,
on 10.
10.
And that just said to me, I remember as a teenage kid looking at that, it gives me chills even now because I was like, yo, that's a team, dude. Like they're a team. And it was
Yeah.
also like a positive kind of masculinity, like a positive, like, yo, they're kind of bros. They play basket. The name of the band was Mookie
Mookie
Blaylock.
Blaylock, yeah. They love
Like they
hoops. Yeah.
they have that aspect to them. Eddie Vedder's a big surfer guy, an athletic guy.
Huge Cubs fan.
So yeah, they love sports. So
Yeah.
they have that, but they also can also be empathetic and cool and kind and loving. And I think that's what makes Pearl Jam so awesome to this
Yeah.
very day, is
I'm
because
getting
they
chills.
still do it.
I literally got chills with you talking about that because that's what that band does.
Yeah.
And so they played in LA last year. So it last May. And so I finally took Glenn to a Pearl Jam concert. It was just me and him. And
And you propose to
and I proposed and realized that I'm not in Utah. I can't, oh no. Sorry. Love you, Utah. Jazz.
Oh, that was for the
Well, that
multiples.
Sister
Okay.
Wives show my
Oh,
wife watching. Anyway, I don't even know if that's in Utah. I'm thinking of Big Love.
it
It
was
was in
in
Utah.
Utah. Yeah, they
But
moved.
I took Glenn and I was like, because I always wanted to take him to a Pearl Jam concert after what he did for me and Renata, my wife, Lady Solo. And he's just been a great friend. So me and him went, and it's funny because I ran into some people. Well, our boy Eddie Spaghetti,
Oh
from
yeah, yeah, I
Against All
remember.
Odds, the producer, and
Yep.
I've seen him twice, and we always say we're going to get together, and I always run into him at the Pearl Jam concert. We make sure we meet up, and Eddie, we got to get together for football this season. We were gonna, and we didn't. Anyway, um, but it was just such a great experience, and it was one of the best. It was the second best Pearl Jam concert I've ever been to, and it was so good. Oh, it was so
It's
good,
awesome.
and to see like Glenn like the light up and just like and we shared that moment, and it kind of came full circle what he did
Yeah.
for us, and then we shared that. And they're just amazing live. I could do a whole podcast series on Pearl Jam
Well, Andy
someday,
and I
maybe.
were just talking about Eddie Vedder because did you catch the Saturday Night Live concert, the Saturday Night Live 50 concert when
Still
he
haven't, and
Dude,
I
I'm not even going
know.
to spoil it. All I can say is he is all over that thing, and it's both inspiring, amazing because he's such a. I mean, his voice
uh
is actually better now than it was
it is.
back in the day, which is
uh
crazy to even think about that. But he has more control, and he can. It's amazing, but he's also hilarious. There's parts in that thing where he's the funniest part
oh,
of it.
he is so funny. Like I remember one time he goes, I forget the line. I always screw up the line, but it's in one of the concerts. It goes, and he's talking about social media. He goes, and don't do that Twitter thing or something. I don't like that or whatever. I forget what he called it. Don't Twitter or what. It was pretty funny. But he also, when I think it was around the lightning bolt out, he was on Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon, and you can see it on YouTube and whatever. It's a song called "Balls in My Mouth" about the tar balls from
Oh yeah,
the oil
yeah.
spill. So he's like,
Yeah.
and don't get tar balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. And then all of a sudden Eddie Vedder comes on and you hear balls in your mouth.
Oh
But
man,
and
I
the
love it.
don't swim in the ocean, you get balls in your mouth. And it's hilarious. And the fact that he did that, like that
Yeah.
just shows you
He's got
I
that.
could
Well, that's the thing is they had that different vibe, man. Nirvana was like the art school depressive guys, and Pearl Jam was like the skate punk kind of like surfer
yeah, yeah.
basketball guys on the street, some guy who would climb up a tree and jump off of it. You know what I'm like we were talking about like just crazy football guys. Like they just have that attitude where they it also seems like probably back in the day, if you were at a bar and you said something wrong, you might get the shit kicked out of you by a bunch of those guys. I don't know. They're pretty rough too. I remember back in the 90s, even with I think Nirvana always seemed a little bit more, little thinner, a little wafier. I guess the toughest was Soundgarden. They looked like they were gonna
They look like
fucking ride a
well, Chris Cornell,
motorcycle
even though
in.
Chris
Yeah,
Cornell's skinny, he looks like he could frickin'
yes.
take down a
I know.
whole.
And he was also a model. I mean, Chris Cornell was like a gorgeous man. He was
Yeah,
such
he's
a good looking
very good
dude, you
looking
know?
man. God rest
So,
his soul. We
yeah,
lost him
that
way
was
too
sad.
early.
That was sad
Oh,
that he died,
and
man.
it's funny because I think that night or the day after Eddie was playing a concert and he tore
Yeah.
he you could see because I mean literally Chris Cornell was friends with before Pearl Jam was in that scene and when they decided to do a tribute to Andy Wood who was the lead
Yeah.
singer of Mother Love Bone they
I'm
did Temple
going
of the Dog and they
hungry.
decided to they
Yeah,
brought in
baby.
Eddie and it introduced him but Chris
That's the
Cornell
shit.
was such a big influence on all of them and just you know what a just great dudes, and that's the thing. We
Yeah.
get a lot of fame and a lot of money, and yeah, it's great, but like it'll change people. But those guys, I think it changed them for the better
It's
because they were already good people.
it's interesting, Solo. Our generation, I don't know that generations after had that. Like, I mean, in a lot of ways, like the old Dennis Hopper quote from that movie, the 90s will make the 60s look like the 50s or something. Remember that? When he
Yeah, that's right.
and we used to think that because I think in a lot of
On the set of
ways,
Speed, would you
yeah.
say that?
That's how I felt. It was almost like a resurgence of the 60s in a sense. I mean, we had a lot of hippie kids and deadheads and stoners and I don't know, it was the 90s was fun, man. I don't know. I've been thinking about
And
it lately. What this new generation, I don't know if they have that though, Solo, like these I don't know who they look up to. I guess I gotta look at my ask my son, but I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, we're older, and as we get older, I mean, our 90s is like our parents' 70s, or 60s.
yeah,
Um, and I like music today, but I'm not as like
yeah,
I'll
no.
cherry pick
That's
songs
yeah.
because it's easier. I mean, back in our day, we had to buy the whole damn CD to get
Yeah,
one
I'm out of
song.
touch, man. I just hear from my son, but
I'm not completely out of touch, but I will say this, a lot of our bands or even our parents' bands are releasing new albums nowadays. Or there's a lot of collaborations. Like you'll see David Byrne from Talking Heads do a song with St. Vincent, Annie Clark, or Miley Cyrus. You'll get a
oh,
lot of
listen to
that.
Solo dropping names that I've only
Oh,
heard on the grapevine. Look at Miley
I love,
Cyrus.
well, I think honestly, they did the Chris Cornell tribute concert, and I was very disappointed because a lot of I mean, you can't hold up to Chris Cornell. Of course, Eddie wasn't there, but not many people can. You can't sing Soundgarden songs. You could do it as a
His
tribute,
voice
but
was
it's hard.
ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
hard. Miley Cyrus, I think she said did the Temple of the Dog song "Say Hello to Heaven."
Oh,
She was
yeah.
unbelievable. She's the only one that I trust covering. Like she did even 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover on the SNL 40 concert. Well, the show, and she did it, and
I think I remember that.
she's
She
so
is a
good.
she. You know what, man? I mean, look. that is a lifetime entertainer. She has been doing this
Right.
since she was like born.
Hannah Montana, baby.
So you can't. That's like when we see these Disney, like the Selena Gomez's, or who. I mean, there's like who Ryan Gosling was a fucking Disney kid. Like some of these people have been. That's just their career, their entire life. It's and
Yeah.
she is
Yeah.
very talented now. Yeah, my deal, man. I listen to jazz. I don't. I really kind of every once in a while I might hear some song or you might suggest something or Aaron's really into music, so he might suggest something. But I guess I don't think that it has the cultural relevance. Different things, because kids these days have so much different things to choose from, like YouTube,
Right.
streaming
Yeah.
services, the internet, social media, Discord, video games. Like we didn't have all that shit, dude. Like we
No.
had like each other, music,
We did.
some movies that were released like one every 10 years. You know what I mean? Like some TV shows, but mostly they were like procedurals.
We
So,
we we had
get it. Books too. Remember
schedule
those?
appointment viewing where we couldn't
Yeah.
go out and search for things. We had to watch
Yes.
what was on
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
at a
yeah.
given time.
We had to go to it. It didn't come to
Yeah,
us.
we had
And
to go
that
buy
that
the CD,
yeah.
bring it home, listen to it.
And
You
the means
know,
of production have changed too, right? Like it's easier to make an album, a film, a thing. So that like we had been we talked about that a couple episodes ago, where then it squeezes in at the top, where they let less stuff
yeah.
become big and popular. But that was a good discussion, man. Yeah, I'll listen. Oh, you know what? I'll give that new. Next time I'm in the car solo, I'll give that new Pearl Jam album a try. I'll bring
Give
it on
the
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 old
new Pearl Jam
Apple Music.
album, Dark Matter. There's some good hard stuff, but there's a lot of great mature music. Like I don't know, it's a mixture of their old roots, but also new, mature, kind of really good song. And then the new Brad is great too. I think you'll like that one
I'll check
as
it
well.
out, man.
Yeah,
I have to check it out. I have been listening to a lot of McCoy Tyner, a great jazz pianist who played with John Coltrane, and
nice.
been listening to a lot of his stuff. Now, I do want to change the subject, Solo.
I do too. Like I don't want to, but I know we have to for contractual purposes.
um, I want to bring up something for me that I want to talk about, which is
Oh,
I don't have
one for
too
you, one
much.
for me.
I don't have too much to talk about it because there was only a quick trailer on the old YouTubes as I saw it, and it is the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie called One Battle After Another,
Ooh.
starring the man himself, Leo DiCaprio,
Wow.
um, clocking it at 21 seconds. It's a tease for the trailer that goes up next week, and maybe we'll talk about it more when the trailer comes out.
Okay.
It's Leonardo, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Wood Harris, and
Wood with the
Alana.
wire, baby.
Yeah, Alana Haim, who was in his last film from the band Haim. $130 million budget, his biggest ever, and it's based on
PTA.
Thomas Pynchon's Vineland. And that book unfolded in Northern California in 1984 and dealt with the consequences of the 60s hippie movement in the era of Reaganomics. And I
Wow.
don't know, from the trailer, I do think that it is the same time period. Um, but it's kind of hard to tell. I'm
Leo
trying to
doesn't
look
go
at
to a
it
beach, does
again.
he? Does he go to a beach, a
No,
hidden
but he
beach?
looks like he's
Okay.
kind of balding at the top of his head, which is kind of interesting. But I think that this is.
You didn't like my joke, my beach joke, the beach?
I'm sorry. I was trying to
Okay.
decipher Leo's hair at the same time that you said that, so I
Were you
got
at
distracted.
Fantastic Sam's website?
I hope he didn't go to a beach. But then again, there are
Oh,
many shots of him on a boat near a beach, and he looks like he's having fun with his 19-year-old girlfriend. So that beach might be
oh,
fun
Bill
solo.
Belichick.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God. Wait a second. Does Leo ask her to get CC'd on all of his emails from the studio? Can he pick her up like a child? Like hold her?
Hey,
What the
whatever
hell?
the day brings,
I mean,
Axel.
let me tell you something. Did I forward you that quick TikTok clip where the guy is like talking about how she's running a scam on Bill Belichick and he loves it, that she's just totally taking advantage, like using it for her
You
ins, like
might have. I
yeah,
don't
she
do the
was already an
TikTok.
influencer, so
Okay.
she knows what she's doing. But anyway, this thing looks fucking awesome, man. It looks like it might be the 80s but I don't, I don't know I haven't read that book. I can only guess that I'm not gonna, I don't want to interpret too much because I think that PTA does his own thing. It's just like There Will Be Blood is derived from a couple of different sources. And you kind of had an idea what it was about but then when you saw it, you're like, holy shit. I mean, it's the same thing for The Master, where people like, it's Scientology, it's the story of L. Ron Hubbard. But then you see it and you're like, yes, it is, but it's also so much more. Did you
Yeah.
get a chance to look at this trailer yet,
No,
Solo?
I haven't. I'm a
It
little
looks awesome.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'm a little lax in the trailer
That's
department
okay. That's okay.
recently.
I'm
Um,
just excited.
no, I will be. I love PTA. Um,
Yeah. Michael
oh,
Bauman.
holy crap! My Boston Celtics were sold for $6.1 billion.
Yeah.
I did not know. I'm out of touch. Oh, I
Out
just
of
dropped a
touch.
Hall and Oates. Out of mind, out of touch.
Out of touch. Yeah. Wait a second. Did we get another Joe Bear comment? Someone
Oh,
liked
he's
your
like
reply.
solo.
Thank you. You're welcome, Joe Bear.
That's
That's
it.
what I have to say for you. I got to actually close
Okay.
YouTube on my computer because it's slowing it down. But
Uh,
that still keeps us up on the YouTube, right? Yes, it does. But
nice.
anyway, it's going to be released September 26th. I think it was just moved forward so it could get more IMAX distribution. But I'm super excited. In my opinion, PTA is
He's.
the greatest living American director. I think he is.
I still got to see Phantom Thread and Inherit Vice. His.
Yes.
Okay, those two. For some reason, I own them, but I got to do a
Okay.
PTA
Well,
day.
this is what I would do if I were you, Solo.
Okay, talk to me, Goose.
I would take about 20 gummies and drink 4 weed sodas before you watch Inherent Vice
Okay, all right.
because it's a thing. He took a lot of chances. It's rambling. It does not have the same shot composition as some of his other films, a lot of
Okay,
handheld, but it's fucking awesome. And Joaquin Phoenix is awesome in it too. That's my suggestion, but it's like a fever dream. It's like you feel
okay.
like you're fucking tripping when you're
So
watching
I'll
it.
do Pink Floyd, The Wall, and
There you
Inherent
go.
Vice
There
that
you go.
same
Just
day.
turn the volume off and just put the wall on and sync it to Inherent Vice. It'll work
Whoa,
that way.
whoa, and Wizard of Oz at the
And
same
Wizard
time,
of Oz.
and Dark
Yes.
Side of the Moon,
Yes.
and we get it
Yep.
all. Yeah, okay.
Oh my God, it's still working. One day I'll show that to my son. It'll blow his mind. When it kicks in and then the color change comes in. Oh my God, I still to this day. Anyway, for what was the other one you were talking about that you hadn't
Phantom
seen?
Thread.
Okay, Phantom Thread is the exact opposite. Um,
No gummies, no weed
You don't need
soda,
any
no Pink
gummies. You don't
Floyd.
need any weed soda. You need to have a nice meal beforehand. You need to give your wife a kiss, and then you need to watch that film. And if you're like me, you're going to think it's one of the most beautiful love stories. I think Punch Drunk Love is one of the most beautiful love stories ever told, and I think Phantom Thread is as well. People think it's weird and strange. It is. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's also some of the finest acting and the direction is so clean. The camera work, the selection, the editing is impeccable. It's like you
Well,
can't
it's
make a
PTA.
higher quality production. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the highest quality. But that's why I say it's a little bit different because even though Inherent Vice, same director, a lot of the same crew, it was such a different style that he
Yeah.
was
No, that's
trying in
good.
that.
That's
Yeah, it's a
good.
little maybe a little bit more Boogie Nights than
Well,
Magnolia, if that makes sense. Even though Boogie Nights was so impeccably shot too.
oh, I love Boogie Nights.
Still, Inherent Vice is impeccably shot, but it's just, I guess, the crispness of the angles is not as important.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. Sorry,
Oh,
Boogie Nights, Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest.
oh God, Boogie. Oh man,
When I saw Boogie
dude.
Nights in the theater, when I first moved to LA, 97, we
Yeah.
went, me, my buddy Tim, and Chris went to see, not Hispanic Chris, but I have more than
Oh,
one Chris, and not Chris Sparling,
it's a
my other
common
friend
name I
Chris.
hear.
I have a lot of
That's
Chris friends. Um,
Christopher
we saw it and it was just like in the theater. What an experience. It was like that. The Game was
too.
around the same
Oh
time. Like
man,
it was just a fun we just moved to LA and we're going to see some awesome
yeah.
movies.
See, I was a fan of his original film, which has been renamed. What's the name of his first movie again?
Hard Eight or before Hard
Hard
Eight?
right, no, Hard Eight. But what was the other name it was called? It's Her Name too, right? Isn't it?
Oh, did he do a short and then did the feature or something? I want to
I
say.
don't know if they
Or maybe
changed the
not.
name of that. I don't know why I think that. Maybe I'm totally bugging. But
No,
anyway,
Hard
I
Eight, I
liked
don't think
Hard
has
Eight a
ever been
lot.
changed.
Yeah, maybe I thought
Yeah. John
I
C.
don't know. I'll
Reilly.
look afterwards. I'll look it up. But
I
then when
like Hard
Boogie,
Eight.
yeah, Boogie Nights
Hard Eight's
is I was knocked out,
well,
man.
Boogie.
Just knocked
And
me
then
out.
Magnolia, I love
Yeah,
Magnolia. There are going to be, as you know, Axel, I do my film list. I'm counting down my 1,000 favorite films of all time. And there's going to be a lot of PTA in there, especially at the top, because
yeah.
Boogie Nights and Magnolia uh,
Oh.
are two of my
Now, you're
favorite
not a big
films.
Master fan? Were you a big
No, I
fan of the
am.
Master?
I what I got to do with the Master though, like it knocked me off my my stool. Like it was intense in
You're on a
certain
stool
ways.
while watching it, huh? That's
Yeah, well,
interesting.
sometimes I
It's
sit on a
interesting.
stool.
Yeah.
I have my Boston Bruins stool, and I'm just sitting, and all of a sudden I'm knocking off.
You're strengthening the core, right?
I'm strengthening the
Yeah.
core. I definitely want to rewatch it
Yeah.
alone because my wife wasn't a big fan because I don't. It wasn't that the movie wasn't good. She was just so like
Kind of creeped
weirded
out
out
by
by
it.
it.
Yeah. Joaquin
But
in that one is
the
whew.
dude, he's so good, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was disappointed
oh
when he walked out of that other movie. He was going to do some movie and it was going to, I can't remember what the name of it was, but he's amazing, man. Yeah. The master to me is, and I haven't seen that film as many times as I've probably seen Magnolia like 30 something times. I've probably
yeah, I
seen
know.
Boogie Nights that many. It hasn't been a while since I should
Well, is the
rewatch some of his
master?
stuff.
There's some great films that might not be rewatchable a lot
That's
because of the
right.
content and the way it
Yes.
affects you. Like There Will
It's
Be Blood, I can't watch every year.
wow. I will tell you that I've only seen that film twice. I have
Yeah,
watched
me too.
parts of it many times. Like if it's on HBO or sometimes I just will want to
Right.
watch like the beginning of it because it's fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
But
I wasn't prepared for There Will Be Blood the
no,
first
me
time. Like I
neither.
had to
Me
take a
neither.
break. I'm like, what am I watching? And then
That's
again, as you, it's like watching Severance.
yeah.
It takes some time to get your mind prepared for certain things. And then once you're in and you get it. But it does take some adjustment period, especially in the worlds where we have so much content. I mean, this was before the boom, There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
But like now, it's just so much going on. It's almost like you have to sever your brain to watch Severance, to watch an
Yeah.
80s action flick, to watch There Will Be Blood. It's just different viewing.
Watch Solo and Follow on YouTube.
You could do that if you want. I mean, I don't blame you if you don't.
Yes, man.
Um,
There Will Be Blood for me. Paul, I think all of his films are absolutely incredible and production. It's just they're of the highest quality that film can get. And having seen films from many different countries from the beginning of film, I can attest to, I believe that he is one of the greatest filmmakers that has ever lived. And There Will Be Blood, he's got a career to go. And I think he might make five more, maybe seven more movies. Who knows?
Yeah, who
But that
knows?
is the masterpiece right now. I mean, it is, because you're right, Solo, you're watching it and you're watching the story unfold, this Daniel Plainview, and Paul Dano shows up and you're like,
Oh,
what the
Paul
fuck am I
Dano.
watching? What is
I
their
know.
relationship?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? But then by the end, like the bowling, like all the shit that happens in that movie, by the end of it, there's so many ideas and concepts of America and capitalism and industry and relationships and fathers and sons and
Yeah.
religion. And you're just like, this is how he pulled this off. If I ever got to meet him, I would probably, first of all, I'd probably shed a little bit of a tear. I really would, because he's one of those very, very few famous people, or like people that I really appreciate their work, that I am in awe of, because he's not just an amazing storyteller, he is a master of filmmaking, like
Yeah.
a
No, he is.
master of all time.
Yeah.
It's like being next to like Leonardo da Vinci. Literally, that is how I
On the
feel about
beach.
PTA.
On the
On a
beach.
beach, and then Leonardo DiCaprio is standing
Shows up.
next to you.
And you're like,
Yeah. And
this is
then
gonna be a
Joaquin
fun
Phoenix
day.
comes in and he's like, don't
He
eat
comes out
meat.
of the water holding Jason Momoa. Yeah.
But that's really how I honestly feel that it's like being next to Shakespeare. I'm not even kidding when I say it. Like
I know you're not. Joe
I
Bear thinks you're
because
kidding, but
I know, but in today's day and age, it is like people go fucking nuts over people and they're like fanboying out over everything. But it's hard to explain, like even in just a technical sense, how much I admire him. I could
yeah.
watch, it's like with Kubrick. You watch 10 minutes of it and you're like, he invented how to make a film. That's how I feel. Like PTA invented how to make a film when he turns on a camera. So it's like, it's godlike, bro. Oh God, you got to talk about Eddie Vedder. I got to talk about PTA. And are you talking to Joe Bear in the YouTube comments?
No, no.
Oh, okay. I thought
I'm
you were
not even
talking
on
to
the
Joe Bear.
YouTube. No,
All right, let's
I
switch it
probably
up,
should. I
Solo.
got something for you.
Okay, okay, let's do it. I love it.
Unless you got a quick.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
I
I
got
don't
so
know if.
excited about PTA.
Okay.
Touch my
On.
touch me.
I'm live on the YouTube. Oh no,
Touch
I'm
me
not.
in areas that I
Touch
can't
me.
talk about on YouTube unless I make this age restricted. I'm sexually aroused, Commander. What's our next topic?
All right. So there's a I think it's a great film, and I'll
Oh,
tell you why. I don't know the reception of it. I know they've done a sequel.
oh,
Blumhouse did a sequel in 2014. But okay, so the film that I just watched for the first time, and it's going to be high on my favorite films. That's how much I loved it.
gonna be high?
It's going to be high. Okay, so it's a 1976 film called The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Have you heard
I
of it?
saw this movie.
You did? Like
Yep. This is a fucked up movie, bro.
it's fucked up and it's freaking amazing.
Yes.
Like it is one of the it's
It was
got
on TCM. That's how I saw it.
I just watched it on Tubi. And then I didn't realize Blumhouse did a sequel. I thought because I was watching, I'm like, I would love to remake this. And then I saw Blumhouse did a sequel. I'm like, son of a gun. Yeah, let them do it, not me. Um, so the town that dreaded sundown, a true story. The story of a berserk hooded killer who terrorized the border town of Texarkana, Arkansas in 1946, leaving no fewer than 5 murder victims in his wake. And spoiler alert, he was never caught, based on one of America's most baffling murder cases. Directed
Yep.
by Charles B. Pierce, Earl E. Smith, Ben Johnson, Andrew Prine, and
Mhm.
an amazing sequence. Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island, is in this film. And there's a sequence of her getting chased by the killer that's freaking awesome. She is great. Love me some Marianne. Um,
Yeah, yeah. This was, and I'm right. I saw it on TCM, Turner Classic Movies, and I think it's available on Max under the TCM
oh, okay. Yeah, it's
banner
on
if you
Tubi as
scroll
well.
down. Yeah,
Um, I know Ben Johnson, Andrew Prine. If you look at their IMDb's, they've been in a lot of stuff. But I almost want to think he used. I know the director um, played Charles B. Pierce. He played one of the goofy cops. Uh, what the heck? What the heck did they call him? Slingshot or something? I forget what his name. And I didn't realize that was him until I looked it up. Um, but I think they might have used some like real, not actors. I think some of them might have been real people because the way he shot it and it made it look there's a narrator talking about it. There's it just feels real. It
yeah.
doesn't feel like a
Dude, this
Hollywood
film has been
production.
stolen from a ton.
Okay.
A ton. This is a seminal early horror film that you have happened upon here
Hmm.
that other directors, and like you said, there was a sequel.
Yeah, I haven't watched the sequel yet, but I'm gonna. Um, yeah, The Town That Dreaded Sundown from 2014, Blumhouse did the sequel. It takes place like 60 years after the murders or whatever. And they're actually watching the movie at the drive-in at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
So it's like they've used the film as it was, something that really happened in this town, but in the sequel, they're using the film as, oh, they made a film about it, and now they're watching it on Halloween. Anyway, um, great film. And the shots in this film. There's one shot where someone is killed sitting down in a chair, and he's got the hood on, and he's got his a gun, and he's outside the window. It's just like it's done so well, and I really, really enjoyed this film. I mean, it's messed up. It's got Zodiac vibes to it. Definitely has Zodiac vibes. But the banter's good. Some of the acting you could tell the deliveries are not
Yeah.
actors, but it
Yeah.
works. It actually does work.
Oh, yeah, because it gives it a feel like The Hills Have Eyes
Right.
and early horror films where you are like, wait a second. Even when you go back to something like Deliverance, squeal like a pig. When you go back, they cast people. Borman
Yeah.
cast people. That kid was just some kid who was there, and
Oh
there's an
yeah.
old picture of them sticking arms through when someone else is playing the instrument. It's not really him. Like it's so it has that feel totally, man. I love that. Now it reminds me, and this may be why it was playing on Turner Classic Movies, because I had seen this movie a long time ago and then I saw it again. Because there's a movie that came out last year, I don't know if we talked about, called In a Violent Nature. Have you seen this
Oh, I
film?
don't know. I don't know if
It's
I've
a
seen them.
Canadian film. And it an hour 34 minutes. It's available on AMC Plus right now. Written directed by Chris Nash. It's basically it's a slasher film told from the perspective of the killer. So
Hmm.
the camera almost the entire time you're either watching him walking. It's also a very slow film. So when they're like the typical around the campfire, instead of getting they're all talking and you get one shot of like the killer looking at them,
Yeah.
it's like all of the killer looking at them. He's just looking at them through the thing and it really captivates you. But he's got the same hood and that kind of stuff. It's got some really great you if you're ever in the mood to
Wow.
get just
I'm gonna have
freaked
to.
out one night, because this is the type of film that from go you're in it. You can't escape. Like you're like, what the fuck's happening? It's a fantastic film. There's another, what was the other one that I was looking at? In a Violent Nature. Oh, well, I recently watched the movie Heretic with with good old Huey.
Huey Grant.
Huey Grant, an hour and 51 minutes, maybe 20 minutes too long in my book of perfect film timing.
Yeah, I'm beginning to. It depends on the film. I do like long films when they
Yes,
need to
when they
be,
call for it.
but the 90 minute, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying watching films that are like the 90 minute. It's
I
just
love it.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
don't need to have eight endings and all, but Heretic's a good movie. It deals a lot with religion. It particularly takes aim at Mormonism. I think that's only because it's only like three people in the whole movie. It's Hugh Grant, um, is what's her name? The woman from, well, she plays a younger girl in Yellow Jackets. Our Yellow Jackets,
Sophie
let's see,
Thatcher or Sadie Sink.
Sophie Thatcher
Oh,
is in
Sadie
it.
Sink's Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's true. And Chloe East, that's really basically who's in the movie. Those three
Oh,
people, and they're all fantastic. They are Mormon missionaries, so it kind of gets them to the house, and then,
right.
Huey kind of does his thing. Very interesting film. I think it's really worth watching. And actually, it takes a lot of chances. It goes kind of deep, and it does really keep you interested. It has a little bit of a catch to it too. So like like you're trying to figure it out a little bit too, like
Right,
what's really
right.
happening. But that's one you might watch. Does your wife, wait, does she like horror films?
Not really. Well,
Yeah, I think we talked
she'll
about
watch
this.
some. She doesn't
He's
like
like Perry.
ghosts and supernatural
Yes,
stuff
that's how Perry
or
does not
jump
like horror.
scares, like people
Yep.
in the like. She
Yeah.
she can't
Perry won't
deal
do
with
it.
that.
Even though, do you enjoy scaring your wife
No,
solo?
no.
No?
One time I did that, and I'll never do it again.
Why? What happened?
She got really scared and upset, and I was like, okay, well, my marriage is going to end. No, not that bad, not that bad. There's
Okay.
certain things. There's certain things I
Okay.
learned. One, that
Yeah.
early on, when I say there's a surprise that happens in an
Okay.
episode, if
Yeah.
it's not good,
Yeah.
like Ned Stark, I was like,
Yeah.
there's a surprise come. Ned Stark, Game of Thrones. That's not a surprise start. Like surprise is a good thing.
Okay.
I learned that quick. Uh,
Interesting.
there's certain things I've
Oh,
learned.
okay. Okay.
My
Well, that
wife
might be a
doesn't like,
translation thing, though.
well, it could be, but
Like surprise is a positive.
yeah, yeah.
That's
But
interesting.
but and if a favorite character of hers, like if we're watching something that I know that's gonna die, I have to tell her if I know because it'll lessen the blow for her.
Oh,
Because the Khaleesi thing, I knew going in,
yeah.
but I didn't tell her. And that poor thing, she was so invested in the Khaleesi character. And when the stuff happens with Snow,
Yeah.
I've never seen my wife so upset
Oh,
in my
wow,
life and
man.
so
Wow.
hurt. Like the emotions she built. I never want to see that again from her because I was heartbroken for her.
You
And I
know
know it's
what?
fake, but it really affected her.
But you know what? So as you say that and you're describing your wife, I'm like, you really make a good couple because as an actor and as a person who loves TV and film and stories so much, to have a partner who gets so invested in them and also has that same appreciation as
Right.
you, that's really kind of
That
cool.
connected us early on when we
Yeah.
started dating because honestly, I know like sitting around watching TV, like in the old is like an old folks thing, but
Yeah.
nowadays everyone does it. But we get so into the shows together and we really escape and
Yeah.
get
So
into it.
that's
And that's
that's
something we
what
like to
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And we,
Yeah.
have some treats, do a charcuterie board and
Yes. That's how Perry and
different
I
things.
do, dude, too.
Yeah, it's an
We
event
are
for us. We actually really enjoy it because I know like my wife will in the middle of a show be like, "Oh, I love you so much." And I'm like,
oh, me
it's
too,
it's
buddy.
just like our
Oh,
little
we're lucky
thing
guys,
that
man.
we do. Yeah, no, it's very nice, and we spend that time together. Even if we're dead tired or something, we try to like. I mean, we do more things, but like we like to
Yeah.
watch movies and TV. I mean, that's
That's what yeah, we do too. And do you ever have to like pause it and be like, okay, honey, we have to stop talking. Let's watch the show. That
100%
happens
all
all
the
the
time.
time.
she
all the
tries to
time.
time it. She's like, "There's no dialogue," but I'm like, "It's the first 2 minutes of the movie."
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to feel it now.
I feel bad because one time I did get, I paused, please, and then like she didn't talk for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this.
Oh, we've all had that, man. Oh, you
Yeah, I
don't
feel
want me
so
to
bad.
talk? Oh, now you want me to talk. Okay. Oh, I'll just talk when you tell me it's okay to talk. All right? That's what I'll do. Okay,
Well,
honey? Just tell me next time it's okay.
yeah, I mean, there's certain stuff that we can talk through, but
Yeah,
I don't mind the talking, but there's points, especially at the beginning, I like to, you know, um, so anyway, but it's
I
fun.
dig it.
It's part of
Holy
sharing an
shit. Wait,
experience.
how long have we been going? Have we been going for an hour or an hour and 44 solo?
No,
I
we've been
can't tell.
going about an hour.
About an hour. Okay. I was like, Jesus, have we been
Yeah,
going
yeah,
two
no, no,
hours
no, it's
already?
not that. Yeah, no, I should get back to life. Well, because I have sort of a free day, um,
Yes.
and I'm
Well, wait, we have
watching
one more
March
thing.
Madness.
That's what I was
I
think.
was
See,
Let me
you were.
transition.
It's totally my fault. You're.
That's okay.
Let's pretend it didn't happen.
All right, so I have a free day,
Oh,
kind of. I'm doing some things, but
yeah.
it's the first day of the NCAA basketball tournament, otherwise known as March Madness.
March Madness. Good
And I
topic,
already lost my
Solo.
first two games in my bracket. I went
Oh,
with some long
shit.
shots. I
Oh,
suck.
darn it.
But regardless, I just love the March Madness. It's my bridge now that football's over, and it's kind of a bridge because I'm a huge baseball fan. I know a lot of people aren't baseball fans, but so it's my nice bridge to baseball. This is a good time of year. We're out of the doldrums of February and beginning of March, and I really enjoy. But what I want to talk about is the evolution of the broadcasting of March Madness, Axel.
Let's do that.
So back in the day, you had CBS or whatever it was mostly CBS. I don't know if someone else had the contract, but you got whatever games, and it's usually regional games were on your television. And you would get bits and pieces. They would go to different games or whatever. Sometimes a game would start late. They would show it and then cut to whatever the broadcast, like around
Yes,
here. If
definitely.
UCLA was on, we'd get UCLA. You get Then it got to a point where you could pay $50 with DirecTV and get all the games on a package.
Yeah.
But then it expanded where CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV now, and then ESPN, the first four, they used to carry a couple games. Then you can see every game now, which is pretty cool. Like, because I
Yeah.
remember I have some old Syracuse games recorded, and it's like joined in progress, like 12 minutes in the first half because
Oh, yeah,
that,
man. I used to do
because of
that
that.
stuff all the time for so many different
Oh,
things. Yeah,
yeah.
now with the YouTube, as soon as when you said to me, I said, when does the game start? You were like 15 minutes or 5 minutes. I went on to the YouTube TV app on my phone. I brought up that one game, and right underneath on the screen, it has a little new button that says watch this in multi-view. Now they hadn't did
Oh,
in the
okay, yeah.
NFL, you had to click a little different thing, but now it's like they really want you to everything's multi-view. I clicked that, and all of a sudden both games, because I
Yeah,
was like,
because
what's the other game? And then I just
the
chose the one
first,
you said,
yeah,
Purdue.
the first 2 days, the Thursday and Friday, um, you get the most games, of course,
Yeah.
because you're at 64, and they stagger all the games within like 20, 30 minutes or whatever. So you have at one point four games going on at once, but they're all in different parts
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and
cool,
and what I
man.
like about college basketball, they're short. Like they're pretty much 2 hours, maybe 220 if we get some OT or a lot of stoppages. But you can watch these games and they're good pace because they only play two 20-minute halves. Or the NBA, forget about it. Those are can take forever, especially the last 2 minutes
Yeah.
of a game. Uh,
I was watching the game, man, and I have to say, I'm going to be coaching Lachlan's kind of coaching. I guess it's only like 4 to 8 games of his 3-on-3 basketball league. So we have 5 players you can substitute, and it's just 3 players on the court. It's half court. And one of the things that I think is going to be kind of fun about that is because it's half court, it does give the opportunity. You're taking away the fast break. And when we were growing up, basketball was a different kind of game. There was like they would stop, slow it down, run the play. Everyone would get set. They would run a play or something, right? There'd be a little improvisation, but they'd try to run a play. And
Right.
then there'd be the fast break. And some teams, oh, that's a really good fast break team. Now, having been watching the NBA past couple seasons, I'm no expert at watching college basketball. I see that the improvisation and fast break is like 90% of the game now. Like so like they run plays, but it's like it's basically like pick and roll, go to the wing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
pass
create
it
an
out,
open shot,
move.
toss up a three to
Yes,
get more
exactly. Yep.
possessions a game. That used to be
Yes.
Axel in the late 80s, 90s, Loyola, maybe even actually earlier than that, but Loyola Marymount, the college, was famous for for fast pace. They were very much, even yeah, early 80s, late 70s, fast pace in great condition, tossing shots up fast, not wasting the
Yeah.
time clock.
Like
And that
and then the running rebels.
the running rebels in a sense, yes. But then it didn't translate so much to the NBA, but now that's all that is. Like my
Yeah.
Celtics, they toss up 73s a game. Well, not 70, but it
It's
just
a
seems
yeah.
like even that
Well,
high point. I was
that's
watching that high point Purdue game, and high point tosses up a ton of threes, but when they don't go in and you don't
yeah.
play defense inside, you're gonna lose, and that's what
Yes.
happened
Yeah. You
today.
don't get any
I bought into the
rebounds.
hype of the upset, and
It's a well, though, but that's the thing. Like I try to explain to Lachlan the difference because he loves football, right? And I think he probably watches more football than basketball. Now he's watching more basketball. But one of the things I've tried to explain to him is that basketball is a game where you've got to take shots. Like it's not about in football you try to run a play, you might get a big score or something, right?
mhm,
But you're only going to get in the end zone what? I mean, if you get into the end zone 5 times in a game, that's a lot. You've scored a
that's a
lot.
lot. That's
You
good.
know what
That's
I'm
good.
saying? In the
Yeah.
NBA, though, you might take 100 shots or more in a game, right? Like they're taking so many
Yeah.
shots,
Yeah.
and it's a what do I say? It's a game of quantity, not quality. You do want to try to keep shooting. Like when people are yelling on this sideline, like shoot the ball, shoot. You got to shoot it. If you could get the rebound, then you got to keep the ball in play. Because I think that is going to be something fun with the 3-on-3. Maybe it does
Mhm.
slow it down a little bit, and it makes it for Lachlan, who at his age now is kind of like the big man. Maybe we can maybe have a little bit more opportunity to kind of set it up, push it into the big man, get a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Or
and
create,
pass it
yeah,
back out.
pass it
Yes,
back out to the perimeter.
that's
I
the thing.
think some teams, I mean, when they're hot, but do take too many threes. And I think you have to have a balance. You have to take it to the hoop. You have to get physical because you want, try to cause some fouls, get people in foul trouble, dictate. I mean, it depends. Like the Celtics do that where they'll just toss up threes one night. That's all they'll do, but then they'll do both. And,
Yeah,
it really depends what's working. But I think you have to have a good balance because if you're just tossing threes and not working inside and not slowing it down some, you run the risk if you're not hitting your shots, you're going to get blown out.
yeah.
Um,
But your
so,
star players help too. That's another thing. That's the
well,
difference between football and basketball is there's only 10 guys on the court, there's only 5 on each team.
100%. Yeah.
There's 22 in football, and not only that, half the positions are rotational. So
Yeah.
you really have 30, 40 guys that are coming in and out of a game so like
Well,
sometimes, you
that's the
know?
big thing, Axel, with football is everyone has a job and there's more people that have to do their job to execute. Where
Yeah.
in basketball, there's less of that.
You got
But
to
a
do
but a
everything.
Michael Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, or whatever can take over a game.
Yeah.
And sometimes we did go through a transition, and it still happens, of hero ball, where the point guard brings it up and just takes a step back three, or takes a bad low percentage shot. and is a
Yes.
bad possession, and that can hurt a team. Like your Stephon Marbury, like there's different plays that were very hero
I
ball.
am, you know what, man? I think that now is a good time to get into the NBA because I have to say that I think that those guys, what's his name? Harding, the guy who, the big tall
James
guy.
Harden.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Harding,
big tall guy.
yes. The with the beard, the guy who was on the Nets. What's who
Yeah.
Bill Simmons loves? Who's that?
I don't think he loves James Harden. Are we thinking
No,
of
but he
someone
used
different?
it. No, it's a different guy
Oh,
I'm talking
the
about.
Nets. Kevin Durant.
Yes, Durant, like all these guys, I feel like I don't know, man. I kind of there was a lot of that where I feel like they it was a lot of attitude. They were the star. They're gonna take a million shots,
You know,
you know.
Jason
But I
Tatum still
guess,
will do that. He's a great player, but there'll
but
be
he
times
seems
where
to
he'll just
pass more.
no, he
That's
does.
just like the
Tatum
Joker. He
does.
passes a
Well, because
lot.
teams, that's
He
why
creates a
basketball
team.
teams win,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though,
not
Solo. I think
just,
that
yeah.
basketball is kind of returning to that. Maybe I'm wrong,
Well, you know why it's
but
returning, Axel? I
what?
think personally, is because these stars, the great players, are spread out more than they were during the Cavs, Golden State kind of every
Yeah,
year was
okay.
them.
Ah, I
There,
see. Okay,
there's
that's
more,
interesting.
they're spread out, and I think there's, we're finally getting to a point where there's better players as well. Because you go through
Yeah.
like the early 2000s was a little tough when Jordan was done and everything. We were looking for the next coming, and then Carmelo Anthony and LeBron came in the league, and so it's we have I think the NBA is in a good position right now. Now the regular season's crap because load management and everyone playing
That's the
fantasy
thing.
basketball. You can't because all of a
Yeah.
sudden your star players aren't playing a day and you don't get it. But anyway,
I
that
will try to
that's
tune in, but I check who's playing.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'll look on ESPN who is playing this, or I try to. I mean,
It's
I tape
tough.
everything. That's another good thing about YouTube TV. I can tape everything, and
That's what
towards
I
the
do.
end,
Yeah.
they basically give away the NBA package. But I don't know. I enjoy basketball, man. I'm glad
No, I
Lachlan's playing
I
it. I like watching.
there were times where I was a little down on the NBA, but I'm a big Celtics fan, so I'm always following the Celtics. And of course, seeing how they built this team and really you got Porzingis now, who's fun to watch. Like I really love this team. It was a struggle when they got Kyrie Irving a few years ago, and that kind of they went into it was a bad 2 years. Gordon Hayward broke his ankle, and then the team just wasn't good, and there was a lot of issues going on, and it was stunting the growth of Tatum and Brown. And then they just started really bringing in the right players, and it's just like they're so fun to watch. And I don't know how long it's going to last because dynasties nowadays don't happen that often. So I enjoy watching the Celtics so much. I actually cried when they won the title last year
That's
because I was
beautiful, man.
so invested in this team and how they were built, and through 8 years, for this point, them finally getting there, I my emotions just came out, and I realized because my
Wow.
dad's a huge fan too, and we talk Celtics all the time. It's just part
Yeah,
of my DNA.
that's beautiful, dude.
And the U, baby,
Yep.
and the U.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, March Madness is currently on. I'll try to catch some games. I like it. I can get into it. And like you said, the games are fast. I don't know. I've just been enjoying basketball. Like maybe it's because Lachlan's
Well,
playing,
Lachlan too. That's a big
but
deal. I mean,
I always have enjoyed I mean, that was my
yeah.
sport. When I was a kid, I played a ton of football, but I didn't play organized football. I played more organized basketball, and then we had that talk about our different sports experiences, but it is still that game. The fun thing about basketball is, football, you can have that star moment, catch the touchdown, throw the touchdown, but there's a
Right.
lot of trenches shit. Basketball, you can just be cool like for an entire game. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like there's like one person really can kind of take over a game. So as you're like watching it, and I can see Lachlan watching it, kind of get enamored with and try to move. Like I'll watch him, he'll try to go behind, like do some shot he
Oh
saw.
yeah.
Just that swagger, that basketball swagger. It's a swaggy game. I
Yeah,
find it to
no.
be very because you don't have any helmet on.
Yeah.
People can see
It's a
you.
game of streaks too. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
team will get hot, go on a
yeah,
12-0 run, then all of a sudden the other team will go on a 15-2 run. You know,
yeah.
it's
So much more
it's
physical than people realize too. That's
oh,
something
big
that he's
time.
realizing, man. God,
Especially these guys are
he
six,
elbowed
eight,
me.
7 foot,
I know. I
and
can't even, dude. I can't
their
even.
knees. I mean,
I think I'm big. That's when I say, like Locke say, the other day at the table, he goes, Dad, you're a big guy. Sometimes my friends are intimidated by you. You're really big and tall and stuff. And I was like, I'm not that big, dude. Look at the NBA. Those guys are like 6'8", man. Come on. They would push me over and stomp
but
on me.
but but to kids Locke's age, you are 6'8",
I know, I know.
So it's,
But I guess that's
I'm
them to
afraid of
me.
you. That's
No,
why
don't be afraid. I'd only love you, Solo. I'd only beat you if you asked me to.
oh, well, I may.
And, and only on Thursday. And guess
Only on
what?
Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Well, there you go.
Um, let's see. Oh, I wanted to shout out a little show on Apple TV that my wife and I started watching, Prime Target. Now
Oh yeah.
this premiered a couple, maybe a month or a little bit more than that. It's the guy Leo Woodall, who was actually in the last season of White Lotus. Got a little Stephen Ray shows up. Martha Plimpton, I guess she wasn't in the
Oh,
first episode.
Goonies.
Sidney Babbitt Crutzen, who my wife and I were trying to figure out where have I seen her before. She was in Borgen. She was in she after wait, what else did I see her in? I don't know. She's in a lot of stuff. She's had quite a
The
career,
town
but
that dreaded sundown. No, she wasn't.
oh, she was in Westworld, of course. That's the
Oh,
other thing she was in. But it's a fun show. It's like he's a mathematician and there's a mystery. I don't want to
Goodwill
get too much
Hunting.
into
Oh,
it. But no, but it has a more conspiracy. There's danger,
Will
you know,
Robinson.
like be careful what you're researching kind of thing. Like, so, but it does a good job. I think you'll like it, Solo, because I actually started rewatching Three Body Problem from our Dan and Dave friends,
Oh
which we
yeah.
talked a little bit about. And I've also been re-listening to the last book of the Three Body Problem, Death's End. And one of the problems with that show is that it's so interested in the plot that characters start experiencing things before you can even care about them.
Mm,
And then the plot just takes over the characters. They're just
right, right.
devices. And in this show, they actually spend a good hour with you getting to know the characters. Yes, there's mystery and there's some little, hanky panky and this and that.
Hanky
But
panky.
generally, you're learning about the characters. And at one point, I was like, I don't know, but then it kind of turned and it really, so I would suggest this show. I've only watched the first episode and maybe I'm going to like the characters more than the mystery, but I'm in for the second episode. That's all I got for that one.
Well, and I'm excited. Gina had mentioned this on our Facebook group, but was it Bright Light Summer or whatever
I
the
watched the
Peacock?
first episode of this.
What's it called again?
It's called, I don't remember. I probably have to look it up on,
Bright Summer Memoirs? No, I don't know.
who does it star again?
Um, is it
It's the other
Amanda
big-eyed
Siegfried?
girl. Yeah,
Amanda
Amanda Siegfried, who is
Siegfried?
like
Love her.
the blonde Amanda Seyfried.
Seyfried. Sorry, Amanda. Didn't mean to pronounce
Let's
that wrong.
see. What's her TV show now?
Well,
Is
she was just in
Long Bright River.
Long Bright River.
Yep,
I'm gonna we're gonna do the El Binjo this weekend. Oh, I think because
yep.
I think they dropped all the episodes. There's 8 of them. They're on
Yeah,
there.
I
I
think they
don't.
did. Yep.
So I'm excited about that because I'm into, of course, serial killer
Yes, you are.
detectives.
Yes. I mean, I liked it. The first episode was, there was some parts of it I felt were a little predictable. Now, Perry read the book.
Oh,
So she was like, okay, they're doing it a little bit differently than the book, but I like the choices they made for TV. So I was like, okay,
cool.
that's interesting. She's an interesting character. And she is a cop, and her
Right.
partner is Dash Mihok.
Why do I
Remember
know that
him?
name? Why do I know that name?
I don't know. He was just in like a ton of like 90s shit.
That. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
Dash Me
no.
Hook.
Ray Donovan and
Yeah,
yeah, oh, I love him. Yeah.
yeah, he's good. He's a
Oh, he's
redhead
great. He
too, so
plays
I always
Bunchy
have
and Ray
my
Donovan.
redhead list.
Bunchy, but he's in a lot of stuff. Like I like him. He's really made a great career for himself. He's
He
really
really
good.
has. I don't know. I have to tell you that I kind of think I look a little bit like him. I don't know. Do I? Do you think I look like him
No,
a little bit?
no, no.
Just like tall, big redheaded. I think I
Well,
look like
I mean,
every
if you
tall,
say
big
tall, big
redheaded
redhead,
guy.
yeah, you could look like everyone who's tall and big and redheaded. But
What movie
no.
star do you think you look like?
Well, it depends what phase in my life.
Okay.
So I'm gonna break it down for you.
I want to hear because I know you've thought about this.
Oh, well, you get told. So of course, when I was young, it was Tom Cruise because of more
Okay.
the likeness,
I can
five not,
see it. Yep.
okay. Then it was Tom Cruise. Then when I late 90s, because I used to be really thin and in
Yeah.
great shape.
I've seen the
You've
pics.
seen the pics. I'm trying to get back there now, but I had a Ricky Martin. One girl comes
Oh,
up, my cousin's girlfriend was like, "Oh my God." And my license, I'm like, "Oh my God, that does look like Ricky Martin." Because I'm Portuguese,
you
Italian,
are. You're
and
Portuguese, eh?
with the tan, okay.
Italiano. Yep. Yep.
Then when I started putting on weight, I started looking like Robbie Coltrane with a little De
Oh,
Niro, splash of De Niro.
Robbie Coltrane. Oh,
If you look at his
wow.
eyes and his face, there's
Yeah.
a picture of him in some like 1930s black and white movie. Me and my sister clicked on
Yeah.
it and we died laughing because it looked like me. Um,
Dude, I see. Solo. This has been an enlightening conversation.
so I've gone through
Okay,
transformations.
that's interesting, man. I don't know.
Now I don't know. I kind of just look old and tired, but
I think you look beautiful, baby. As you got older, you got better, just like Francisco Rinaldi. Um,
eh,
I do not. Who,
I don't
who
even know
do
what
I
that
look
is.
like? I have no idea. I don't, because of
I
the
used
red
to, I used to,
hair,
I used to tell you
it
you look
throws
like some
people,
people. Now
man.
I can't remember.
I have gotten okay. Back in the day, I got a fair amount of Mark McGuire because I used to have my head shaved and I was clean shaven.
Okay.
So I got a lot, like in college when I shaved my head and was like, people would be like, Mark McGuire, like a lot. I got a lot of that. Um, I've gotten, strangely enough, some of Perry's friends went nuts at their wedding because they thought that I sounded and looked like the voice of NFL films and Hard Knocks, Liev
Yeah,
Schreiber.
sure.
They thought I looked like him too, which I don't think I look like him. But they thought because my eyes don't open a lot, I think, because I do this a lot, they thought I looked like him. Um,
This is funny because
but
you've in our
I
group
don't know.
text and whatever, you've texted pictures, and I know I've commented, "Oh, you look like, you know, Ryan Russillo," or whatever I would say. And now I can't remember any of them because you're a chameleon because when you got the beard and no
Yeah,
beard and your
yeah,
hair's like Conan O'Brien and no, you
yep.
do transform. I'm gonna have to think about that and I'll get back to you.
Well, I do think that when I was young, I was this spitting
Matt Dillon.
image, no, not Dylan, of the Red Rocket man,
Oh, and
of
Andy
course,
Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Yeah, I think because we do have, I got the brows too, that hook, like my eyebrows hook. He's got that too, and the red hair. It's the red hair that throws it, dude. It's very,
Yeah.
it's not a common thing, and my hair is still so red that it still kind of throws it. Maybe if I had
Oh,
some gray hair, people would say like Nick Nolte or something. Oh,
oh,
look,
Ando.
is
Bryan
Ando?
Cranston with a beard.
Oh, Bryan Cranston. Okay, I'll
That
take
does
that.
look like you right there in
I'll
that
take
shot.
that.
And
Wait a
yeah, it's just
second.
I love him.
Wait a second. Is Ando listening to us?
He's got to be.
Oh, okay. Bryan Cranston with, oh, now you're sideways, Solo. Oh, now you're frontways. Interesting. Bryan Cranston, I can see that because I think I do have a
Yeah, you
very
got a little Bryan
Englishy,
Cranston.
Irishy, Germany
Yeah, that's a good call,
face.
Ando.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Bryan Cranston.
Um, my father looked a lot like Kenny Rogers, Nick Nolte.
Jesus Christ, you can't just.
Yeah.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
more like Nick Nolte's DUI shot. That was kind of what my dad looked like.
Oh, Nick Nolte.
No. And it's funny because he dyed his hair for like all of his life. And I've
Oh,
never dyed my hair, except I dyed it black one time just to see how it looked.
oh, little Pearl
Um,
Jam. Uh,
yeah,
have you watched any of the new season of 1923?
no, no.
I think it's really good.
I never finished the first season of
Oh,
1923.
oh, well, there you go. Oh, I can't keep up with the shows you watched with
I got to get
dates.
into it. I know a lot of them.
What was because we had 1899,
I know. Well,
1918, and
1883 I
1917.
watched
Oh,
with the most
1883 was the
beautiful
one.
girl in the world.
1883. Then what was the producers from Dark? That one was
Oh, I think that was
1899
1889,
or
or
something
was
like
it
that.
1899?
I don't know. It was one of those
I'm gonna have to
18s.
ask Bubba and
Then the
Catfish.
movie 1917 came
The movie,
out
that's true. That's
in
true.
1923.
Yeah,
Oh my God, it's confusing. I no, I really I'm liking what they're doing this season. The first
you're into it.
two episodes, maybe even three, have been really good.
How was the
Yeah.
first season?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay,
Um,
maybe I'll get
the
into
o-
it.
it's actually no, it's really good. It's just they leave you on such a cliffhanger, and then we
Oh,
hit we had I don't know if it was the strike or COVID or I don't even know what year it came out anymore. Um, but it had been a while. I was like, oh, and but then they because you got Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren, you got our boy from Game of Thrones, Braun. Uh,
oh my
what's
God, I
his?
do kind of look like Bryan Cranston with a beard.
Yeah, I know.
Holy cow!
Timothy
It's
Dalton is in
it's the
1923.
oh, I don't look like Timothy Dalton. It's the eyes. My eyes don't open very wide. They're like little slits. I want to. I'll check it out. I mean, obviously, we're a fan of our man Taylor, who has been taking some hits lately, maybe deservedly. Not. He's been doing too much. Needs to
That's fine.
focus.
It happens.
It
You know,
happens, and
it 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 is what it is. You know,
I'm
maybe
happy. I'm
like
looking. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say I know the end of Yellowstone and Lioness took a
Yeah.
turn. Still watch, but I really think with 1923, I don't know if he wrote 1923 before they start. You know what I mean? Like he started working on the scripts,
Or
then
he's
they
just more
delayed
dedicated
production.
to it. You know.
Or yeah, but I think 1923, I mean, because it's showing a part of America at the turn of the century, into the 20s, of
Interesting.
course, like electronics,
Oh,
like the
I heard it
difference
was
between
around 1923 that it came out. That it
yeah,
was about
that's I almost said
1923.
1930. Yeah, no, no,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's
I like this.
interesting
That's interesting. That is cool.
because
I
he's
dig it.
like phones and electricity, running
Yeah.
water, like that whole transition of life, like the town has got more of that and they're living on the land and
Ah,
people want to
reminds me of
build.
Downton Abbey when they first got a phone. Remember
Did you get a call from J.J. Abrahams on
that?
that? Um,
Well, you
I
know
didn't never
what?
watch Downton Abbey. Never watched
Oh
Downton Abbey.
God, I love that show so much. I love it. Love it. Love
Yeah,
it. Love it.
I don't know if that. I mean, I love a lot of the actors in it,
You're
so I
not as
probably
soapy as me, Solo. You're not as soapy. I'm a
not
soapy.
anymore.
I'm a
I kind of
soaper.
soaped out with Melrose
There you go. See? Okay.
90210.
That's yep.
Uh,
Yep. Yep.
Occasionally I like a good like Big Sky was kind of soapy.
It
That
was.
show I kind of
It
liked. I
was.
kind
It
of
was.
enjoyed it. Sometimes I need a little soap,
A little
but
soap.
the one that Tyler Durden makes though, those kind
Oh,
of
the ooh.
soaps.
With Meatloaf's back fat.
Meatloaf.
Um,
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf's big boobies.
Is it? Did he pass? He passed, didn't he?
I think he is dead.
A few
Yes,
years
I
ago.
think he has gone to the ether.
That's the one thing I hate about getting older as
Is you
people
die?
older than us start dying.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on
Yeah,
this
no, we
shit.
can't. I have to go in a few
Because
minutes.
I just talking about that with Perry, I was like, in like 10 years, everybody's going to be dead. Like all the people who are older, like it's
Like,
just
I mean,
that's
for me,
life,
like
dude.
the
That's
Clint
life.
Eastwoods, the De Niros, we just lost Gene Hackman, even though he hasn't been in movies for a while,
Right.
but
And
like
he
it's just so
was
sad.
when
He
you're
was
94 and you die, you have to be like, it's good you
no,
lived
that's
to
a good life.
94.
That's a good
You know what I
life.
mean? Like good for you,
He
buddy. I
lived a
mean,
great life, and
yeah.
God bless him. And it's just tough how he went, but um,
Solo's getting spiritual.
I am. You know what? I feel very spirit. I'm sleeping better, losing weight, trying to get my head straight.
It's the wheat soda, dude. I'm telling you right now.
The wheat soda,
It's the wheat soda. It does it for
maybe.
it'll cure all your ills. It's a magic elixir. That's what Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney were selling in Say, Say, Say. They were selling wheat soda.
What you say, but don't lead me in my direction. You're gonna be, you're gonna put you, cause I love you.
All right, let's leave it at that. This was
All
a
right.
great, fun episode. Thanks everyone for watching on YouTube. Thanks everyone for listening on Daily DVR. I'll put this up on the Patreon first. It always goes up on the Patreon first. Hit us up there, patreon.com/DVR. Go to dvrpodcast.com. We're going to be back on Monday, right here, live on the YouTube, sometime between, I would say, like noon and 3-ish, right? Is usually
Something like
when we
that.
record.
Yeah.
Um, Pacific time, so that's more of the dinner, maybe a little later on the East Coast. I want to try to get a little bit better about posting when we're going to be on. So as soon as we get that locked down, I'll put it on the
Post it so we
page.
can
We'll be
get,
live
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Probably give it about a 15-minute, like if we say we're going to start at 11, I'll put like 11:15 around. Give us a little time solo in case we have to doo-doo or blow our nose or get our weed soda. I like it. That's all I got. Daily DVR TV and Film Facebook page. If you're into Duster, join the page too, so that other people get sucked in and listen to the podcast when we do it in May.
Yeah. And if you don't know, if you haven't heard us beat the drum for the last year, the Star City Murders, you can get it on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, Tubi and Amazon Prime and other like Pluto and Roku.
I
It's
gotta
all
write
over
it
there,
down
man.
solo so we can start the YouTube with like a live ad for Star City Murders. Like I'll write
Okay,
it so I
yeah.
can read
Yeah,
it,
I gotta get some more viewership. We had a good run, but now we gotta get that next level viewership. So
Maybe we
anyone who
do a
hasn't seen it,
Duster giveaway. Maybe we do a giveaway of the Star City Murders.
you know what? I have DVDs, I have
We're doing it.
Blu-rays.
Here we go.
We
Listen,
have to do
guys.
giveaways.
This is what we want you to do. We'll figure it out by the next episode. All right,
That's what,
everybody. But we're going to do a
yeah,
giveaway
we'll figure
because
it
I
out.
got to
We're
figure it
gonna do
out
some
first.
giveaways so you can get physical copies.
Physical. Let's get physical. Physical. I
And
want to
actually,
get.
I have a call sheet that was signed by the cast and crew that day.
Whoa.
We got to start
No, you
because
got
we
to
also
keep
have,
that. You got to keep that for the
no, I have
National
tons of stuff.
Archives.
No, I want to give that away to a special
Oh, okay.
someone.
Oh, a special
Because we
someone.
do have the
Okay.
Star City Murders podcast that I got to keep going. So we'll
We do.
figure the
We
companion
do.
pod. We did the commentary, me, you, Ando, and Brett. That was a lot of fun.
And you can get that
Um,
on the Patreon. Go up there and listen to it, folks.
or Star City Murders podcast. It's on there too.
StarCityMurdersPodcast.com. Check it out. We don't
No,
have
it's
that.
the dot
That
com. We don't
doesn't
have that.
exist yet, but
That doesn't exist. Yeah.
maybe someone will now AI will tell someone to buy it. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Later, everybody. We're going to stop